Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. It's gonna be pissed.
Okay. As you know, 12 days ago I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock.
What the? What the hell, Bill Maher?
Insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous.
Are you kidding? Why would you want to visit Bill Maher? Why Bill Maher want to visit Donald Trump at the White House?
He's the most powerful leader.
Come on, why would you want to visit Donald Trump at the White House? You're a Democrat.
Centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute. So meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead.
God.
60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it.
What?
Which you did.
What? What? Come on, man. Why are you signing that, Donald Trump?
Which you did.
That's disrespectful, man.
Say that millions of little sphincters just.
No wonder Bill Maher's a Democrat. No wonder Bill Maher's a Democrat.
You see something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it.
Yeah, that was disrespectful what Donald Trump did Bill Maher.
I don't give a fuck.
Screw that dummy. Screw that piece of clown. Screw him.
So, no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton
Good job, Bill Maher. Glad you're not a Trump supporter. Glad you're not a Democrat. Glad you're a Democrat, but glad you're not a Trump supporter.
The blowjob room.
I'm glad you're not a Trump supporter.
That's where they keep the merch.
Glad you're a Democrat.
It is. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated.
Good job, Bill Maher. I'm glad he's standing on the blue side.
Shit tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how we thought this was a bad idea. What a deranged asshole I was. I read it and thought, oh, a lovely way to welcome someone to your house.
What an idiot. Donald Trump's a stupid idiot. How dare you disrespect Bill Maher? How dare you? How dare you?
That guy wasn't living there. No, does Trump want respect? Of course. Who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he disrespected Zelensky. That's what Donald Trump messed up. You shouldn't disrespect Zelensky like that.
I've never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including it himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. Okay, example, in the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know the best thing about him? His hair. I said there was also that whole communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs, that's what that is. Oh yeah, okay, that's true. At one point, we were walking through his amazing, it torches and made some sort of collapse. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd be said that. You didn't get mad? He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking it as a positive that this person...
What the hell?
Exists.
With Donald Trump. That's what he's doing to American economy. That's what he's doing to terms.
This night with this guy. Bob...
You're a Democrat. Not we have... That's dumb. That's not smart. I don't want to have deal with President Trump.
Don't look you in the eye.
Dangerous.
People don't
Completely
really listen because they just want to get to their next thing. People whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that was him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know. Your mind is blown. So's mine. There were so many moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. At dinner, he was asking me about the nuclear situation in Iran in a very genuine, hey, I think you're a smart guy, I want your opinion sort of way. And I said, well, obviously you're privy to things about it I'm not, but for what it's worth, I thought the Obama deal was worth letting play out because we made Iran destroy 98% of the uranium, and they were 15 years away from a bomb. And then I said to him, well, we got rid of that. You got rid of that. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in. I told him I thought parts of his plan for Gaza were wacky, but that I had supported him in the idea that Gaza could be Dubai instead of hell. I told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes. Moving Israel's embassy to Jerusalem, loved it. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees, like the million Syrians who wound up in Germany when Saudi Arabia took none. He said to me, you're right, they took none. I said, well, you should remind your boyfriend in Saudi Arabia that the next time you see him. He laughed. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, and I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down, make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. He was even okay when I checked him on the orangutan. To Dana White, you know, orangutan and I said, well, Mr. President, I did that. Regarding Obama's I thought that was low. Again, no anger, just a little smile, as if to say, yeah, I get it. The most surreal part of the whole night was when places we've just been in. And he's you're a total disaster. And I'm like, who's that guy? What happened to Glenn to the good match? And why can't we get the guy I met to be the public guy? And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's not. I'm just reporting exactly what I saw over 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is fucked up. It's just not as fucked up as I thought it was. And I have no illusions now that I'm back to work at my job that he might start a new list. Because I don't have a good feeling and will be critical about a lot of what he's doing, the trade war and disappearing people, ruling by decree, threatening judges, gutting the government with glee. But I also think he now understands I have a job to do, or at least he did on this night, because he said to me early on that he'd seen our last episode, which was the Friday before this dinner. And he said, I thought maybe it'd be nice, but you hit me really hard. I did. Because I'm not going to pull my punches that presidents get to propose a third term for themselves.
Don't want for a third term. Don't want for a third term, please.
That doesn't mean he's not going to try to do. At one point, I said to him, you're scaring people. Do you really want to be scaring your own citizens so much? And I know now you're all saying, and what did he say to that? Honestly, I don't remember. But it wasn't okay, I'll stop. So MAGA fans, don't worry. Your boy gave me nothing. Just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time and a willingness to listen and accept me as a possible friend, even though I'm not MAGA, which was the point of the dinner. My favorite part of the whole night was we were standing in the blowjob room. And he said, you know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said, same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk? As opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really, that's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high. Damn, missed opportunity. All right, we got a great show. Here's Morgan and Josh Rosen are here. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But first up, thank you.